tonight. He is the creator of Teamzy. We were all at conference and you heard that our company is recommending that we go and we all sign up with Teamzy. And I know a lot of you are already subscribers to Teamzy. So I'm going to introduce Eric, El Fabuloso Eric, that created this whole Teamzy thing and is going to help us grow our business. So without further ado, everybody, please welcome Eric Johnson.
Thank you very much. It's the first time I've been called El Fabuloso. I like that. Excited to be here. Hold on, I'm out of focus.
El Fabuloso.
Thank you. I love that. Okay, so I'm excited to be here. Eric Johnson, come on, camera, get with me. Get with it, girl. There, that's good, right? Eric Johnson, creator of Teamzy, excited to be with you tonight. I'm going to give you guys so much value tonight. It's going to feel like you're sipping water from a fire hose. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm
going to take you through, so what I want to do tonight, a couple things. I'm going to show you Teamzy. Teamzy, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a CRM, that's a contact relationship management system, right? Which any business owner will always have a CRM that they use to manage their customer relationships. But it's more than that. It's actually designed to help you do all of your income producing activities in less than 1 hour a day, okay? How many of you guys, that sounds pretty good? Yes. So less than 1 hour a day. Not only that, it's based on building relationships. So what does that mean? It means that since I know you want to build your business with heart and probably some of you have been to lots of trainings with other network marketing trainers and you've thought, I don't know if I could do that, or that doesn't sound like me, or that doesn't feel right to me. That approach feels a little disingenuous. That's because it probably was. I'm going to teach you how to do this business based on relationships, serving people, and how you can create actually even more business that way than the traditional kind of find them, fleece them, forget them approach to business. Make sense? So before I show you Teamzy, first I'm going to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing, which is the philosophy and system that Teamzy is based on. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to jump in. I've got a presentation here. Where is it? Let's share this. So we're going to talk about how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay? All right, a little bit about my backstory. My background is as a professional business coach and consultant. 15 years I've been helping people build their business based on relationship building. I fell into network marketing accidentally. How many of you guys fell into it accidentally? I actually found some products that really helped me and literally changed my life. I started out in this business as a Beachbody coach, and their products, I know it's a different product, but you get the idea. I lost 60 pounds. It was life-changing and became healthy. It was just totally amazing for me at the place where I was in my life. And I saw that there was a business opportunity, and but really I didn't really care about the business opportunity. I was just excited to share what was helping me. Does that make sense? And I know a lot of you come from the same place. When I did realize the business opportunity was kind of awesome and easy, true? Not easy as in you don't have to work, but easy and as in anyone can do it. I looked at it from my perspective as a professional business coach. I said, look, I've got a career, I've got 4 kids, a dog, right? I'm married. I don't have time for this. I have maybe an hour a day. So I started looking for tools that would help me leverage my time so that I could do everything that I knew I needed to get done to build this business in just an hour a day. And you know, in other businesses, these tools exist. Isn't that amazing? But in our industry, 35 million people in direct sales in the United States alone. And there were no tools to help us build our business. Nothing that somebody like me could use. How many of you are really good with technology? I'm not very good with technology. So it had to be something I could use. So anyways, long story short, couldn't find anything. So I built it. Got some smart guys together and gals, and we built Teamzy. So now 3 years, Teamzy's been in business now 3 years. We've helped more than 70,000 network marketers build their business. Okay, and just so you guys know, our average users, the folks that are actively using the system, and I'm going to show you what I demo tonight will be about the same number of activities those people are doing. They're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. That's their 90-day average. Pretty cool. Just so you know, I always take statistics over 90 days, never 30 days. The reason why, and we'll talk about it a little bit tonight, is that everything that you do in a relationship compounds over about 3 months. Okay? So if you are slow this month, then you got to look at what you were doing in October or not doing in October. Does this make sense? Okay. So my story is that I've been a professional consultant for 15 years. We built Teamzy to basically systemize what we've been teaching people to do to build their businesses. And so here it is. You guys will see it in a little bit. It's pretty awesome. So let's talk about what is relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? Okay. A lot of people think this is just selling things to your friends, right? How many of you have heard the term and maybe thought that's what it was? Relationship marketing is actually a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. It's kind of a dry definition, but this is the point you need to get. As business owners, which is what you are, the first decision you make as a business owner is, which lead generation system will I use in my business? There's lots of approaches, right? There's lots of ways to build a business. I happen to believe relationship marketing is the best. It happens to be the most fun and rewarding as well, okay? But you need to understand it is an approach to your business. And why is this important? Because your business is lead generation. You are in the lead generation business. It doesn't matter how busy you were today, how many customers you signed or distributors you brought onto the team. If you're not doing activities that will lead to new leads for your business, then you didn't work on the business today. Does that make sense? It's a mindset shift. As a business owner, you are in the lead generation business. Now, what's cool about this is, by the way, lead generating for me is just meeting people. It means just meeting people and building deeper relationships with the folks you already know. Here's a principle. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. I know I've got a lot of doctors and crazy professionals on this call. Some of you have maybe even been to business school. In business school, they'll teach you that the duty of a business is to generate profit. Well, for you as business owners in this system, your duty is to deepen relationships. How cool is that? The profit takes care of itself if you focus on the relationships. What we do with those relationships, this is important, make sure you guys get this piece. We turn those people into advocates. We turn them into our advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn them into our advocates. This is an important point. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I have a lot to cover, but I want you guys to understand this. In most systems, you're looking for new customers and new recruits, true? With relationship marketing, you are looking for new customers and new recruits, but more importantly, you're creating advocates. An advocate may never purchase and they may never sign up, but they will talk about you to others, and that is more important. Make sense? Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work, okay? If you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. And this is one of the things, if you guys follow me on Teamzy's Facebook or on YouTube, you'll see me ranting about this all the time. I feel like a lot of what our industry does is disingenuous. Some of it's downright dishonest. Let me give you an example. I'm going off on tangents. I can't help it. I can't help myself. For example, we're taught to hide. You guys do Juice Plus. Juice Plus is awesome. I love Juice Plus. I'm honored to receive the endorsement of corporate for our company, for our partnership with you guys. How many of you don't have, for example, on your Facebook or Instagram profiles, it doesn't say that you do Juice Plus anywhere? And you've been taught that. You've been taught to hide that. This is an example of what I'm talking about, is as we build trust, we need to be open and honest about everything that we're doing, because we don't want to hide. We want people to know that what we do. Does this make sense? If you're an electrician, you want people to know you're an electrician. What does an electrician do? They solve electrical problems. What do you guys solve? What problem do you solve? And everybody that you know needs to know that you are an expert at that problem. Does this make sense? And you don't get there by building intrigue or curiosity. You get there by letting everybody know, this is what I do. This is the problem that I solve. This is where my passion lies. All right, there's a little side tangent. Let's talk about trust. Trust makes the work fun. When people trust you, you don't have to convince, you don't have to sell. You just get right to helping people. True? Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. How many of you, like me, are super paranoid about being seen as the icky salesperson? Trust takes the ickiness away, and then you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, you're going for yes. Okay, so how do you build trust? There's actually 4 essential ingredients to building trust. I'll go through them with you right now. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Okay, chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, let's go through these. Chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? It's hard. Is it true? It's hard to do business with someone you don't like, right? Not only that, but statistically, most people prefer to do business with a friend. So it goes both ways. Nobody likes to do business with someone they don't like. Most people prefer to do business with a friend. Where's your common ground? Your job as a business owner is to find common ground with somebody so they can relate to you. Make sense? Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Okay? Please notice something about this definition. You don't have character. Character is something you do. Make sense? We think we have character. Character is something you do. It's an action you take. Character is something you have to demonstrate daily. Okay? It's really important. As business owners, again, think about everything. How does this show my character? I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to post on Facebook. How does this demonstrate character? How does this show how I'm caring for people right now? The way you drive on the highways. Are you demonstrating your character? By the way, I always think it's really good if you put a license plate message or license plate frame or bumper sticker that's religious on your car. Not only does it express your faith, but it kind of convicts you to be a nicer driver, doesn't it? Try it. You'll drive better if you know people see that next to your license plate. Okay, I'm just kidding. Not really. Just having fun with you guys. Number 3 is competence. Chemistry, character. Number 3 is competence. Competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. First thing I need to know, can you help me with my problem? Remember we talked a minute ago about what problem do you solve? Do I believe you know enough about what you're doing to ask you for help? Okay. The second piece of this is, do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Do I want to join your team? I need to know. You need to demonstrate to me your competence in both ways. First, to become a customer. Second, to become part of your team. Now, anybody new? Let me just see real quick. Hold on. Let me just look at the faces real quick. I can only see 3 of you at a time when I'm looking. You guys have your cameras on? Anybody kind of new? Do I have any new people? New-ish? Couple people. Okay, a lot of times the new people, this is what they tell you. Don't worry if you're new, just fake it till you make it. Just fake it till you make it. Have you guys heard that before? You guys are good. I can tell already by your faces. You know where I'm going with this. Don't fake it. Now, this is what's so important. Relationship marketing depends on trust, which means that everything you do, everything you say has to be authentic, true, and real. How many of you guys like, oh, I'm glad to hear that. Don't fake anything. There's no reason to. Look at your team. When you're new, you lean into their competence. You say, look, I'm new, but I'm part of one of the most knowledgeable teams of experts there are. Okay? When you join with me, you get access to them.
Always happens here.
Make sense? So if you're new, don't fake it. You lead into the competency of your team. Same thing with joining the business. Hey, look, I'm brand new, but we are going to plug in together to the best training, the best leaders and let's go. Let's do this, right? Our team is so amazing. They even bring the Teamzy guy in to do trainings for us. That's how good the training is with this team. You're joining something amazing. Does this make sense? So don't fake it. So experienced people, tell your new team members to lean into your experience. New people, lean into your team's experience. Make sense? Okay. And that's the thing I want you guys to encourage people when you're talking to possible recruits. You don't need to know everything. Don't worry. You don't need to know everything because the team is here. You just lean into our competence. Okay. Here's a principle on this, then we'll jump into number 4. People only care about 3 things. This is when they're going to do business with you. They only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Okay. By the way, if you come up against objections from people, all objections come from these, I should say, call these emotions rather than questions. All objections come from these emotions. Okay. How do you get over that? You build the relationship, and it takes time. That's what we're talking about tonight. Investing in people, building relationships. Over time, they will understand these 3 questions are true as you build the relationship with them. Okay, number 4. The 4th ingredient to building trust, consistency. Consistency. A quote was recently attributed to me. I don't remember saying it, but I thought it was amazing. So I'm going to take it on. Has that ever happened to you guys? And it was this: consistency is the currency of trust. I love that. Isn't that cool? I saw that on like a meme and it said Eric Johnson from Teamzy. I was like, oh, cool. Did I say that? Sometimes I don't know what comes out of my mouth. Consistency is the currency of trust. How many of you have children? And let me see the parents. Is being consistent important while raising your kids? Right? Consistency is probably the most important way to build trust with people. Don't tell me, show me, right? And some of you tonight will join Teamzy and you'll be really excited and you'll start connecting with people, and basically you're out of the blue, you're like, hey, I want to have a relationship with you. Some people are going to go, really? But you know what? 3, 6, 8 months down the road, they're going to go, wow, she really meant it. She stayed in touch consistently with me. Make sense? Consistency is the key. I love this principle, by the way. Uh-oh. What happened? My slide stopped working. Must be time for an update. Here we go. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This principle came from one of my favorite books. I'll show it to you. You guys should put this on your reading list. It's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Okay, The Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. Awesome book. There's a whole chapter in here on consistency. People want to be around consistency. They are drawn to it. How many of you have been told that you are an inspiration to somebody? Has somebody ever told you that you inspire them? And you laugh because you accidentally put 2 legs in the same pant leg last Tuesday. Like, you're a normal person, right? What's inspiring is your consistency. They see you doing things, making healthy choices in your life, posting consistently, being on this journey of positive living, and that's inspiring them. Consistency builds trust, and it has a side benefit. It attracts people to you. It attracts people to you. It attracts people to your business and to your team and to as your customers. Make sense? People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. So let me just ask you really quick by show of hands, how many of you are very consistent products of your products? You use your products regularly. The healthy lifestyle is your bag, and you're into it.
Me.
A couple of you. Okay, great. How many of you are good about consistently sharing your journey and sharing what you're doing on social media? A few less. That's okay. The real checkup from the neck up is this one. Are you consistent with relationships? Are you consistent with relationships? By the way, those other 2 things are important too, right? You got to be a product to your product. You need to be sharing your story. But are you consistent with relationships? Are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are, say, posting on social media? And this is really where the rubber hits the road. The principle is this: people won't believe you until they see you. They won't believe you until they see you. What do I mean by this? You're posting on social media, you're sharing your story, you've got people following you. And even on the posts that a lot of people comment or like, it's still a fraction of the people you're connected to, isn't it? A tiny fraction. But here's what I want you guys to understand is that everybody, almost everybody you're connected to is watching. They are watching and they're waiting and they're seeing what you're going to do. And you're like a TV show to them that they're watching. Make sense? You cross their feed and they're like, oh, look what she's doing. That's so cool. But they do not. Anyone have a donut? That must be on my mind, right? They do not believe you when you say, join me, come be part of my event or come do this. Why don't they believe you? Because you haven't talked to them since high school. They don't believe you are actually inviting them. Does this make sense? They're disconnected. That's the thing about social media is we feel like we're connected to people when we're actually not, right? We have some knowledge of what they're doing, but we're not connecting with them. They won't believe you till they see you. In other words, what do I mean by this? I mean, you need to be in contact with them. Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people. If you hired me as a business consultant and said, Eric, how do I build, the biggest Juice Plus business in the world? I would say, first thing you need to do is be in regular contact with everybody you know. And you would say, oh my gosh, how do I do that? I'm going to show you how to do that. That's why we built Teamzy. Don't worry, it's actually quite easy to do, but you've got to do that. The principle is this: investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just really quick on this. Let me just get out of my presentation. I'm going to talk to you guys real quick. All right. How many of you have ever received from somebody you care about a beautiful card for your birthday, anniversary, or for no reason at all? And in the card was a heartfelt handwritten message. Anybody ever get a card like that? I hope so. I hope you got at least one. If not, send me your address. I'll write you one. Okay. Now, when you get a card like that, I happen to have one right here from a recent birthday for my dad. And so you read a card like this and it's like, wow, this is an amazing card. How many of you are total emotional? My wife calls me a big baby. Like you get teary-eyed and everything when you read these. Anyone? Yeah. What happens after you read it? Do you crumble it up, throw it in the trash? Like, oh, that was nice, and just throw it away? How many of you are able to throw those away? Nobody's hands went up. Okay. Quick question. Do you have like a special drawer or a special box where you put them? They like pile up. You know what's amazing about this really quick before I ask you the next question? Did you realize that most people don't throw them away? Most people keep them. Not only do people keep them, but when we pass away, often our family will keep them. How many of you have letters or cards that belong to a dear loved one who's passed? Is that amazing? Not only do you keep them, but they never get thrown away. They are so valuable. They persist over generations. Isn't that crazy? Now, look, here's another example. This is a happy birthday postcard. Have you ever received one of these? I know I've got some doctors and stuff. How many of you guys have your practices send these out? No offense. I'm not here to criticize because it does have a marketing benefit. This one's from my insurance sales guy. For a half a second, I will think of him. Right? So I guess it's worth it. But do you think this goes in my special card place? How many of you guys save these? Or nobody saves them? These go right in the trash, right? What's the difference? This is a happy birthday card, and this is a happy birthday card. What's the difference? This has no value whatsoever. In fact, I actually have in my garage, I come into the house through the garage. You guys drive in through your garages, some of you? In my garage, I have a recycling bin and a shredder where 90% of my mail goes and never makes it into the home, right? Usually I would recycle this, but I kept it to make fun of with you guys. This has no value. Why? Because it required no time. Investing time and connecting with someone, those are the two things you must have for it to have value. The handwritten card is priceless because it was an investment of time, and it's undivided attention to write a message like that, right? To take the time to write the card. Wow. Make sense? When you're building your business and connecting with people, do you need to write a love letter to each person that you're prospecting with? No, you don't. I mean, there are appropriate occasions to write people cards, by the way. So you should have a stack next to you at all times, of course. And when you use Teamzy, I'll show it to you. You can log a greeting card as a connect type. But what I mean is, rather than just commenting on someone's post on Facebook or putting up a general join my team or come to my event, I'm talking about messaging somebody one-on-one. Hey girl, I was thinking about you today. How are you? I hope you're having an awesome day. What's going on with you? A message, taking a little bit of time for somebody. Nobody does this right now. Do you realize this? How rare it is? It's funny because, every day Facebook tells me the list of people who's having a birthday today. Do you guys get that list? And when they come up, I send people a message. I recently was talking to somebody who's a top builder in another company. He knows my training. He's a Teamzy user. And he said, you know what's funny, Eric? Even with having put my whole team through your trainings, he's like, I got 300 posts on my wall. You're the only person who messaged me personally to wish me a happy birthday. Isn't that amazing? It's like, it doesn't take any more time. It's just the fact that you're taking the time one-on-one with that person. Make sense? All right, I'm going to show you guys, by the way, how you can make people's day. I call it the make someone's day mindset. I want you to get in that mindset. And if your whole business is focused on making somebody's day, not only will it be a ton of fun for you, but you'll be amazed at the results you get. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get back in here and finish this presentation. We'll jump into Teamzy. All right, so I think I'm just about done with this presentation. So I know you guys, I can tell by your faces, you're like, yep, we like his philosophy. We agree, this is my philosophy. But here's the thing, you need a system. Philosophy is not enough. You need a system. You're a business owner. You need a system that you can follow, that you can be consistent at doing. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships. Systemized. You need to know when to contact them and when not to contact them. In other words, you don't need to spend 4 hours planning to do a 1 hour power hour. You just need to be able to go and know what to say so that you can start a conversation with somebody and make their day without spending all day staring at the screen, reading their Facebook or reading their Instagram and trying to figure out what the best message is. How many of you guys are guilty of that? You just need to know what to say and then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks, okay? You gotta have a system. All right, so lucky for you, we built that system. I'm gonna show it to you right now. You guys ready? Let me jump over to Teamzy. I have too many windows open. Here we go, it's Google Chrome. Okay, you're looking at my Teamzy dashboard. This is the Special Juice Plus version, okay? If you're not already using Teamzy, here's how you do it. Go to teamzy.com, it's in the internet, and click on Start Trial, okay? Click on Start Trial. It's free for 30 days, completely 100% free. We don't ask for your credit card or anything. You go use it for 30 days, do what I'm gonna show you right now, and you'll crush it. Okay, you'll crush it. You'll fall in love, and then of course you'll subscribe. Lucky for you guys, we were approached a few months back by Juice Plus Corporate. They're like, we love what you're doing. We've been hearing from our people in the field. We want to connect with you, and they negotiated a special price for you. So for Juice Plus people, it's 35% less per month than it is for the rest of the network marketing industry. So don't worry, it's really inexpensive. It's less than, what is it, 60 cents a day or something like that to use this. Pretty awesome. All right, so it's free for 30 days. Go get your free trial started. When you first come into your free trial, it'll bring you up to the Setup Wizard. The Setup Wizard is for people like me who don't know how to use technology very well to make it easy, okay? I'll walk you through it really quick to set this thing up. But real quick on the dashboard, you can see this is where you would come each day to work. It has your goals for the day. In my case right now, it's set up for 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 distributors. That's the amount of people I'm gonna connect with, okay? And it will be set up to your goals, and then everything you need to do is right here in front of you. It's super easy. So let's go to setup. Let me show you how this works. You'll automatically be brought to the Setup Wizard when you're new, or you can get to it here from your settings. All right. So what we're gonna do here is 3 things. We're gonna set your income goal, number 1. Once we set your income goal, Teamzy will tell you what you need to do each day to hit that goal in 12 months, okay? So it actually builds the plan automatically for you. The next thing we're gonna do is help you create a powerful why. I'll explain that in a minute, but it's super important. Without the why, you'll quit. Number 3, we're going to help you get all your contacts into Teamzy. This might be the most challenging piece, but we've made it as easy as possible. But when you're done, you'll have everything on one list in one place, living in the cloud, secure. You can get to it from your phone, from your computer, from anywhere. You're not going to be hunting for pads of paper, sticky notes, spreadsheets that you can't find, right? It'll all be in one place, organized. Okay, let's get started. So let's set your income goal number 1. When you get to this page, you're just going to have an empty box. Put a number in there. I put $150,000 as my income goal. This is the income level you'd like to be at 12 months from now. Make sense? Okay. So whatever your number is, put it in, click continue. So now Teamzy's done the math and it's telling me that I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months, okay, to hit the goal. How many of you think beyond 6 figures, your first years is pretty aggressive? Yeah, it is. It is aggressive, but it's doable aggressive. But here's what I want you to know. This number, as big as it sounds, is like 30 minutes a day in Teamzy. You guys, you're like, show me. Okay. We're getting there. Don't worry. Next page. The next page breaks it down for me. It breaks it down between my prospects, my customers, and my distributors. And then it breaks it down monthly, weekly, all the way to daily. Okay. So now that big number, 4,348, it actually breaks down to connect with 9 prospects a day, 6 customers a day, and 4 distributors a day. 19 people. Okay. That will take me, I'm used to using Teams, it'll take me 20 minutes. But let's say it takes you 30. Let's say it takes you an hour. It's still super, super fast. Make sense? Okay. Now these numbers are a suggestion. You can overwrite them. Let's say you're brand new, you have no distributors. You can just make this a 0. And you can put it over here to prospects. Okay. You can change these to whatever numbers you want. Teamzy is just making a suggestion based on your income goal. Make sense? So these numbers, prospects, customers, distributors, these are connects goals. In the very beginning, I talked about connecting with people and making their day. You guys remember that? All we're going to do with these is connect with these people and make their day. We're not trying to sell them, recruit them, retain them, anything. We're just connecting, just checking in with people. Okay. Now this next box, this next goal, invites. My goal is 3. That's kind of the default minimum. 3 invites. An invite is when I'm inviting somebody to learn about the business. Okay, I'm inviting them to try a product. I'm inviting them to an event. I'm inviting them to a 3-way call. I'm inviting them to an online meeting, an event, right? You get the idea? So the goal here is I'm going to start 19 conversations today, hopefully. And out of those, 3 will lead to an invite. What is it? Why? Because in relationship marketing, we uncover interest before we invite. This is how we build relationships and don't alienate people and make them run in the other direction. Make sense? 3 ads. This is ads. This is just adding new people to your list every day. The goal is to constantly meet new people, right? Add them to your list. Okay. Once all these numbers are the way you want them, you click continue. Now it's saved to the dashboard. If I go back to my dashboard, you can see those numbers are saved on my dashboard as my goals. Okay. All right. Let me jump back into the setup wizard. Oh, actually, I'm going to go into the next section, which is my why. The next section is my why. Actually, it's your why. I want to talk to you about your why. How many of you, really quick, have a written why statement? Oh man, this is good. You guys are an advanced team. Good. It's important. Did you know this statistic? 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. How many of you have been in the business 2 years or more? Have you found that's probably pretty true of the distributors you've signed to your team? 1 out of 2 quit the first year, typically. The reason why why do you suppose they quit? Is it not a good opportunity for them? No, here's what I want you to know. What's amazing is not that 1 out of 2 people quit. What's amazing is that 1 out of 2 people don't quit. See, most of us, actually all of us, we're quitters by design. We quit all the time. We quit stuff all the time. I know you're like, Eric, you're supposed to be uplifting and inspiring. But here's the truth. The truth is we do quit, but there are exceptions. And when we decide we're going to stick to something is when we really shine as human beings, true? But we never do that unless we have a reason to. We need a reason. This is why finding your why is so important. And so many people struggle with this because they feel like it's some sort of weird, hippy dippy thing they've got to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure out. And it's not that hard. I'm going to take you through the process. We have simplified this down to 5 questions that will just get your mind thinking about it so that you can write your why down and put it in front of you and really have it help you, motivate you, and convict you to keep going. Does this make sense? Just a real quick example of how this works. I love this example. It's from Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. Who's read The Compound Effect? Anyone? If you have not read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, you need to read that one or get it on Audible. It's actually a great Audible book too. How many of you guys do that stuff? Audiobooks, yeah. The Compound Effect. It's basically a sum up of the 15 greatest personal growth books summarized into one book. Okay, so it's a great one for you to buy. As a leader, I would buy that book by the dozens and give it to every new person who joined my team. Someday Darren's going to thank me for that. Okay, so here's what I want. Here's the example. I love this. How many of you would walk across the balance beam? If I put a balance beam across the floor of your living room, how many of you would walk across that balance beam for $20? Yeah, absolutely, right? The why, the $20 is a sufficient why to do that, correct? Now, if I put the balance beam across the radio spires of 2 80-story skyscrapers, how many of you would now cross that beam for $20? That why is not sufficient anymore, is it? You get the point? Now, he went on to say, what if on the other roof were your kids and their building was on fire? How many of you would now scurry across that balance beam to get your kids to safety? Almost all of you. Do you see the difference is just the reason why? This is why I'm going to take 10 minutes to go through this real quick with you, because it's so important. You have to figure out what will get you across that balance beam, not because the building's on fire and because your kids are in danger, because that's an easy motivation for you, right? But what's going to get you across the balance beam when you just don't feel like it today, when you're bored, when you don't see visible results in your business? That's when you need a reason to get your booty across it still. Make sense? And that's the silent. I used to do this talk and I used to go, well, for example, I do a boot camp every quarter where I bring in a few hundred leaders from the industry, and my partner and I personally coach them up for 3 months. And I had somebody on a Zoom like this from their basement while the roof was being torn off their house by a tornado. That's a pretty serious thing happening, right? But that's not the dramatic things like that aren't really what derail us. It's more like boredom and procrastination that kills our business, isn't it? Okay, so let's go through this process really quick. I can tell I'm talking too much. I'm still in setup. We'll do it fast. All right, I'm going to tell you my story as an example. Just put your own mind in here as you're doing it. First question. What you do is you just answer these questions just to get your mind going on it. Why did you become a distributor? First question. Now, I told you a little bit about my story. I lost a bunch of weight, and people were asking me all the time, what are you doing? What are you doing? You lost a bunch of weight. How'd you do it? And I was already telling them what to do. I wasn't getting paid for it. My wife said, go be a distributor so that at least you can get paid for everyone who's asking you what to do. So I did. What did you hope to accomplish? I didn't have a deep goal. I didn't have a big goal. I just wanted to make $500 a month extra money. Anyone relate to that one? That was it. I thought if I could do that, that would be cool. Next question. Why is it important to you? Now, here's the funny thing. If somebody tells you I want to make money, how much money? $200, $500. Ask them why. Why that number? Because they know why in their mind. Now, in my case, I wanted to put that $500 a month in my bank account. I wanted to save it. Okay, I wanted to save it. Now, just to understand why that was important to me, my job was coaching people in their business. I worked specifically with real estate folks. I know we've got a couple on the call today that do real estate. And when the recession hit at the end of 2008, there was nobody that was paying, no real estate agents were going to be paying it for coaching. So like half the country, I lost my job, and it was a scary time. By God's good grace, we made it through that recession intact. I found work in another industry and we made it, but we stopped saving anything. We weren't saving a penny. And so saving $500 a month into my bank account was going to be an emotional victory. Does that make sense? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? I really wanted to buy a new home for my family. We had outgrown our home. We were on top of each other. I had nowhere I could work. I dreamt of leaving my corporate job and working from home on my business. And I had no possible way of working it from home. I just dreaming about a new home. So what would achieving this mean for you and your family? I thought, wow, if I could save $500 a month, just store it away, maybe eventually I could afford a new home for my family. Make sense? Are you guys with me? In 2 minutes, I've gone from, okay, sure, I guess sign me up, to dreaming about a new home. Next question. This is the last question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? So my goal was to buy a new house. Great. Why is that meaningful? I had to think about this one for a little bit, and I'll be honest with you. I found this question annoying. How many of you guys like personal growth, but actually the process of it's kind of annoying? That's me. It's good. Just be honest, right? Because it makes you uncomfortable. We don't like being uncomfortable. So I had to think about this. Is buying a new house a worthy goal? I mean, the house that we had, which I felt was too small, was much bigger than the one I grew up in. How many of you guys are already in that situation? And it was fine then. Like, why am I being greedy? Like, what's the situation? Here's what I realized thinking about this for a couple minutes. See, this process makes you confront those things that you don't allow yourself to think. How many of you guys feel like you're kind of in survival mode right now? Like you're just surviving. Yeah, that's most of us. When you're in survival mode, you prevent yourself from thinking about the deep things because you don't have time for that. I'm surviving. I got to take care of my kids. I got to put food on the table. I got to do this. I don't have time to think about that. Now, this process made me think about the fact that it wasn't that there was something wrong with my house. The house symbolized family, right? It was my family that was the problem. Not them, actually. It was the fact that I wasn't there for them. I was spending all my time and energy providing. I was not present. Makes sense? Some of you guys really felt that one, I can tell. You're going through the same thing. I would get up in the morning and kiss my kids goodbye for work. They were still in their pajamas getting out of bed when I left. And when I came home in the evening, they were already in their pajamas getting ready for bed again. I felt like I was the pajama daddy, right? And look, I loved my job. I was well respected in my career. And I really felt like the king of the kingdom at work. But I wanted to be part of my family's life too. And then when it came to my marriage, 40 minutes a night with my wife, she was exhausted from taking care of all the kids without my help. And I was exhausted from working. So here we are, like watching Netflix and not connecting. Does this make sense? I wanted more. I wanted to be connected. Not only that, I had in the space of 5 years been laid off twice from jobs I was awesome at. Why? Because of the economy. And because when you work for somebody else, they can lay you off for any reason, right? And so here I was in this situation where I was thinking about this little side hustle, this little extra business, $500 a month, great deal. Hour a day, $500 a month, all day long, I'll do that, right? And I started thinking about what I really wanted in my life. And my career is respected as I was, and as much as I liked it, I was stuck. I was never going to grow any farther. I had grown as far as I could grow in that career. And yet here we were. I was going to miss my entire children's growing up. I was not investing the right amount of time in my marriage. And financially, we weren't getting ahead. It made me switch my thinking. Because when I looked at the network marketing opportunity, here was something where the sky's the limit. True? The sky's the limit. There's no limit to it. Can I be fired because the economy goes down? No. In fact, direct sales does better when the economy's bad, doesn't it? Because people are supplementing their income. So I realized something. I stopped thinking about my direct sales business as my extra money. I started thinking about my career as my extra money. How many of you, a goal is to someday retire from your career and have your finances handled by your business? Great. Start thinking of your career as your extra money. And I thought, wow, somebody's going to pay me, six-figure salary to build my network marketing business. What a great opportunity. It was a mental switch. And at that moment, I wrote down my first why statement. I'm going to read it to you as an example, okay? This is important. It's the sample in Teamzy. This was actually my why. I wrote this 3 years ago, you guys, just 3 years ago. To create a life where I never have to worry about money again. This is my why. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis, I'm healthy and full of energy. I don't know if you guys can hear my kids. I can hear them. They're running around on the other side of that door, even though I've got like some soundproofing stuff on it. But here I am with them. And in the middle of playing with them, I say, oh, kids, I got to go for an hour. I'm going to go do a quick team call. Help some people and I'll be back. Okay. Create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family. I'm present for my children on a daily basis. Whatever you write in this last box, when you click continue, it'll save to your dashboard of Teamzy. You can read it every day before you go to work. Okay. Real quick on this, just to kind of put the nail in this before I move on, so that you know what happened to me when I wrote this. It convicted me. It convicted me. Are there days where you just don't feel like working on your business? How many of you? Let's just be honest. All of you have days like that. When you write your why statement, it convicts you because now you have to make a decision. I don't feel like it today. Now it's not just I don't feel like it. It's this. I am choosing to stay stuck where I am instead of pursuing my why. How many of you guys would find it harder to not do it when you had to say that out loud? Today, I choose to stay stuck where I am instead of pursuing my why. This convicts you. Now, Teamzy is going to make it so easy that now it's like an easy thing to do too. So you're just going to want to go do it. Make sense? Okay. What happened for me after I wrote this down, within 3 months of writing this down, I left my corporate job completely, came home to build my business. I had nowhere to work. Remember? So some of you guys know the story. I know we just sent an email telling this story to everyone a couple days ago, but I had $4,000 left in the bank. I took it and I bought a new Mac and I bought a shed at Home Depot and an extension cord. I drilled a hole in the wall. I ran the extension cord out, threw my computer in this shed, and I started building my business in the backyard. Look, I have a picture of this. This is a true thing. My kids called it the shed quarters. Okay. Here I am with one of my business partners, Mike Lopez. We're actually brainstorming this concept of Teamzy in the background. Mike Lopez was my mentor for 12 years. He was my mentor for 12 years and my boss. And then I pitched him this idea of Teamzy. He's like, I want in. And he became my partner. That's when you know you're onto a good idea, when your mentor's like, yeah, can I can I have some shares? So there's how we did it. It was a shed, man. I can't even express to you how incredibly humbled and blessed I am for the past 3 years, but I could fit 6 of those sheds in my office right now. And it's not quite as hot in the summer in here. The point is your why will convict you and it will make you it'll make it happen for you. Does this make sense? Because if you're in this business just because a little extra money, let's check it out, let's try it out, okay, it's great. It's not enough. You need to be driven. And by the way, that is what helps you as a human being to really recognize and realize your potential. All right, where am I? Here we go. Last bit for setting up is we're going to get all your lists in. There's some videos here to help, and we have complete instructions in our help center. Let me show you where the help center is. So the help center is on the left-hand side of Teamzy. Okay, you can go in here and you come in. You're going to get your contacts out of back office, Juice Plus back office. Okay, so you come in here, select your network, Juice Plus. Where are you? There it is. And you're going to get your instructions. Okay, your video. Hi. You get your videos. You get your instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to help you get your team from Juice Plus into Teamzy. We'll get your customers into Teamzy. You get your prospects over from Address Book into Teamzy. And then you're going to get your Facebook friends list into Teamzy. Everybody's in one place. Okay. Organized. Any other lists that you may have of people, you bring them all into Teamzy. Okay. We can get them all in there for you, all in one place, organized. And there's one last step for setting up. I'm going to go to the team page. So you see on the left where it says team. The team page is like your full electronic Rolodex, right? Everybody's in here. Okay. Now what happens is when you do an import, it automatically toggles on rank mode. I'm going to turn it on right here from this menu so you can see what it looks like, rank mode. Rank mode lets you go down your list and rank people. We rank them on a 5-star scale, right? Just like everything in your life. 5 stars is awesome. 1 star is what? You feel bad rating people? You're not rating people, you're rating relationships. Okay, I want you guys to understand you're rating the state of your relationship, not the person. But 5-star people are going to be your best relationships. They're going to be your best, hottest prospects, and your best friends and your closest family members will be 5 stars. Make sense? 4 stars are going to be people that you have pretty good relationship with. 3 stars, pretty much everybody that you know is a 3-star, because they could go either way, you don't know yet. 2 stars are getting a little bit colder. You might not know them very well at all. Make sense? So what you're going to do is you go down your list. Everyone's going to actually default to 3 stars to start. And you're going to look for the people that you want to be 4s and maybe 5s, and you're just going to click on them. Okay? Just go through your list really quick and try to pick them out. Now, why is this so important? Because Teamzy creates your list each day for you automatically. You never have to do any planning. 5-star people show up every 30 days. Every 30 days they come up to connect with, to stay in touch with more often. 4-star people come up every 60 days. 3-star people come up every 90 days. 2-star people come up every 120 days. Your list is constantly being created for you every single day based on the star rank people are cycling through. So if you work your Teamzy every day, you can stay in touch with everybody that you know on a regular basis. Easy. Cool, right? Yeah. Okay. Why is it important that some people come up more often? Because in relationship marketing, you should be talking to your best people more often. Okay. Why is that? This is important, guys. Write this statistic down. 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. You guys have heard that rule before, right? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your relationships. So you're going to be talking to that 20% more often, right? You'll talk to everybody, but you'll be talking to that 20% more often. Okay. All right. So now we're all set up. We're ready to crush a power hour. Are you guys with me? Okay. Let's do it real quick. So you can see in the middle of my dashboard is my power hour module. This is where you do your work. The left side has my lists. It has prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups. Okay, 4 lists. Each list only gives me 5 names at a time. That's on purpose. That's so I stay focused and I don't get overwhelmed. Okay. Now on the right-hand side is where I log my activity as I go so that I track as I go. Okay, make sense? So look, we're going to do a power hour. We start from left to right always. So first we're going to connect with prospects. My goal is to connect with 9 today. See, it's right there, 9 prospects, 9 left. Wanda's the first person on my list. So I'm going to connect with her, and I usually like to connect with Facebook Messenger as my #1 choice. Okay. But you can also connect via text or, however you want to. If you look at the different connect types, look, they've got Facebook, email, text, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, phone call, in person, video chat, voice message, right? All these different things. You can connect with people. I like Facebook Messenger as my first choice because it has the best response rate. So I'm going to message Wanda on Facebook. Okay. I've got Facebook open right here so I can send her that message. Now, before I message her, this is where I used to get stuck. What the heck am I going to say to her? How am I going to start this conversation? And I would sit here and stare at my screen and wonder how to do this without being awkward. I'd go read her page. But here's the thing I want you to know. Through trial and error, we have found great little opening scripts to start the conversation. So what you do is just come down here where it says scripts, and you can just grab one of mine. They're super easy, okay? So I'll grab a Facebook script. And I'm just gonna use this first one, connect #1. This is what it says. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. It's so simple. So I'll copy that script. And then what I'll do is I'll just paste it right here in Teamzy and then edit it. Put the right name in there. Okay. If any of this doesn't sound like you can change the wording a little bit. Sounds just like me because it's my script. Put a little emoticon in there, right? Some of you might be emoticon abusers and put 3 or 4. That's okay. I think emoticons are important because it lets people know that you're enthusiastic and not just sending a message. Look, so now I've got it kind of the way I want it. Hi, Wanda, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. What I'm going to do now is I'll copy that. And then I'm going to just jump to Facebook and send her that message. Here she is. Boom. Okay. How are we Facebook friends and we've never messaged each other? Not very Teamzy of us. Okay, look. So there it is, send. Okay, it's sent. Done. Go back to Teamzy, finish logging it. That was a Facebook message. Click on the big log connect button. See, it's blue right there. Done. I've got 1 done, 8 left. She's gone off my list. My list has moved up 1. Do you see that? She's gone. She'll come back. She was a 5-star. She'll come back in 30 days. If I don't message her for any reason, she'll just come back on my list 30 days from now. Okay. Next person's Jay. I'm going to do the same thing. In fact, I'm going to use the same message. I've already got it on my clipboard. I'm just going to paste again, change the name. This is how I can do them so quickly. Oh wait, her name's not Jane, it's Jay. Hi Jay, just stopped by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. Look, do you guys see how quick this is? I can do this so fast, especially if I'm using the same script over and over, which in the beginning, 6 months, you probably will be using the same script constantly. Look at this. I'm going to go over here real quick. Let's look up Jay. There she is. You don't even have to actually open their page. You can send the message right from here. Boom. Hi Jay, just stopped by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. Send. Super easy. Now we're going to log that one. Facebook message, big blue log connect. 2 done, 7 left. You can see how easy this is? I'll do the same thing with Brandy. Messenger, then Charlene, then Julianne, then Evangelia, then Kathy. I'm just going to go right down my list until I get to my daily goal. In this case, it was 9. Okay? When I'm done sending those messages, I'll toggle over to customers. Now, real quick, and we'll start connecting with them. Real quick on this, though. Some people will immediately respond. I don't want you to have a conversation with them right now. Wait until you've got all your messages out. Okay? It's going to take you 20, 30 minutes to get them all out so you don't get distracted from it. Make sense? So some people will message you, just wait till you're done with your power hour and then answer them again and continue going. Okay? The cool thing about messaging is people don't always expect it to be instantaneous. They know that you could have got distracted by something, right? Okay. Now, out of those 9 people that we just messaged, some of them will not respond at all. Okay? Just real quick on those. Don't worry about them at all. They'll come back up on Teamzy based on their number rank, and you'll connect with them again down the road. Some people aren't going to respond. Do not worry about them at all. Okay? Just leave them, let Teamzy bring them back to you automatically. Focus on the people who do respond. Now, the next list are customers. I'm going to go down this list the same way. I'm going to connect with my customers. I'm going to go to scripts, get a quick idea on ways I can make their day. Here's a great one, simple one. Hi, John, how are you enjoying the whatever he bought? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay? Super easy. Look at this. Urbanus. That's a very biblical name. Urbanus. How are you enjoying your tower garden? Please send me an update. Let me know I can be of help. Do you see how easy this is? Copy it, go to Facebook, send the message, log it. Okay, then go to the next person. You're going to connect with your customers the same way you connect with your prospects. Really quick, couple of quick concepts on this. Connecting with customers is as, if not more important than connecting with prospects. Connecting with customers is as important, if not more important than connecting with prospects. Okay, couple of reasons why. One, it's the right thing to do. Being in touch with customers is the way you should be running your business. True? How many of you guys wish you were in better touch with your customers? Okay. Teamzy will make it easy to stay in touch. You don't need to send them a sales message. You don't need to say, your order's coming up in 3 days. Would you like to add to it? You can, but you don't need to. All you need to do is be in touch. Make sense? Hey, Jenny, how are you? How's it going? Is there anything I can do to make your day? And she's going to go, oh, thanks for reaching out. Oh, I'm doing great too. How are you? And I'm glad you reached out because I actually need to up my order. Right? Here's what I want you guys to understand. This is a statistical fact. If you are in regular contact with customers, they order more product. If you are in regular contact with customers, they order more product. Okay? How many of you guys love going out to eat and getting great service? Have you noticed when you get great service, do you order more? You know, like they make sure that your drink's never empty. They make sure that, right? They recommend awesome stuff and you leave and you go, that was awesome. That was a great server. I had a great experience and I bought more. This is what happens in business. When you're in touch with people and you have a relationship, they just buy more and they have a better experience because of it. You want to see your team volume go up? Do what Wanda's doing. Get your whole team using Teamzy for a month. They'll get in touch with their customers and you'll see volume go up. I just had a great call with Leah Shitter. Do you guys know her? She's in Juice Plus. She was telling me that she's been using Teamzy for 12 months now with some key leaders on her team, and their volume went up 35% this year. How much? That's cool, right? Yeah, volume went up 35% this year. So being in touch with people, they will order more. Now, here's the other cool thing. They retain longer too. The people who are on monthly orders, they retain longer. Number 3 reason why you need to be in touch with customers. How many of you would like new customers? Yeah, do you know where to go to get them? Is there a training on where to find your customers today? I'm going to tell you where to go. The absolute best place to find a new customer is from your current customer. Every business knows this. The best place to find a new customer is from a current customer. Just a couple, I'm going to remind you of a couple things you already know. When people love something, they talk about it, true? They talk about it. It's like we can't help ourselves. We have to tell people about it. Think about a customer or two of yours who loves your product. Just put them in your mind right now. Those people are talking to other people already about the products. Now, some of their friends may already get them. They may have Googled it and found somebody and bought them, not from you though. Sorry, it's true. Here's what you need to know. 86% of North Americans make buying decisions based on the recommendation of a friend or family member. Have you heard that stat? 86% of North Americans make buying decisions based on the recommendation of a friend or family member. Your customers are talking to their friends and family about Juice Plus, and those people, 86% of them, are thinking, that sounds pretty good. So what you need to be doing is being in regular contact with your customers, especially your best ones. That's why you make them 5 stars and 4 stars, okay? And you need to ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. You need to ask them to introduce you. In my boot camp, I spent a whole week on this, but just so some of you guys will get the concept. Ask them to introduce you. Just ask them. Is there anybody you know that needs help in this area? Because I want to help them. Okay? Can you introduce? Yeah, actually, my friend Rosa, I was just talking to her yesterday. Great. Can you introduce me to her via text message or Facebook Messenger, whatever's easiest, email, whatever's easiest, just do a quick introduction message so that I can get her some information. You guys with me? Oh, a couple of you guys really liked that one. You're like, wow, that's a good nugget. Yeah. This is how you generate new. Okay, I know I'm taking too long. Do you guys want me to tell you a quick story? Let me see hands. Skip the story. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. All right, I gotta tell you, this is funny. So I told you that I came into network marketing, somebody who was a professional business consultant, but had never done network marketing or direct sales. I had no idea how to do anything. I didn't really understand how the comp plan worked. And I went really fast up the ranks. And I got to a level in our network. I don't know exactly what it would be equal to in your network, but it's when you have 4 distributors that are actually working the business on each side, each leg, on 2 legs, right? So I got to this level and they put me in a group. It was like 4 weeks into my business. So I didn't really understand anything. They put me in this group of other people at that level, like a synergy group, to help each other, to be trained by the corporate salespeople, right? I know you guys do stuff like this. Here I'm in this group and I have no clue about anything. I'm just doing what I always do, which is building relationships, trying to help people, right? And so they said, each one of you needs to do a training on one of these topics. So that I got picked to do a training on recruiting. This is when I knew I needed to build Teamzy. So when I did my training on recruiting, guess what I taught? I taught people how to get new customers from current customers for an hour. And they looked at me like I was the biggest dummy in the world. They were like, what? What's your social media strategy? I go, well, I use social media to build trust with my relationships. Yeah, but how are you meeting strangers? I go, I don't meet strangers. I get introduced to people by my relationships. Then they already trust me. They thought I was insane. I just want you guys to know this stuff works. Unbelievable. And it's so much easier, right? And who's laughing now, 3 years later? Right? But here's the thing. We get so caught up on chasing shiny things This entire civilization has been built on relationships. The people you know, the trust you're building, it transfers. I want you to meet my friend Wanda. She solves people's health problems. That's what she does. You should talk to her. She knows what she's doing. Make sense? And those people trust you already. You get right to helping them. This is where it's at. Building relationships with you people, becoming the expert, building trust with people. They become your advocates. You don't need to go beat the bushes all day long, going for no, doing stuff that you hate doing for the rest of your career. You just get to focus in on the people you're helping in your relationships, and they will sustain your business. Okay. All right, sorry. Here we go. Where am I? Let me get back to this. Am I almost done with my power hour? Oh, the next list are distributors. So now I'm going to connect with my distributors the same way. I'm going to send them a message. Oh, look, it's so funny. These are all people I've done team calls for. So I'm gonna message people and just encourage them. Hey, I was thinking about you today. How are you? Is there anything I can do to make your day? Do you need anything from me today? Congratulations. I saw you signed your first distributor. Congratulations on your new volume or your new bonus level. I just wanted to tell you, I haven't seen you on our team calls for a while. I'm rooting for you. How are you? What are you up to? Okay. Quick messages to connect with your team. We call this Teamzy. That's why, because it's about connecting with your team and building a family with your team. I want you guys to understand something, leaders and potential and future leaders. Having a team page, doing Zoom calls, those are great things. But people need to be connected one-on-one with you. Okay, they need that connection. For those, if any of you are, I know, do I have any social scientists on this call? Let me see, any social scientists, anyone? No. They've done a lot of studies on what motivates people to work harder. Okay. One thing they've never been able to connect to working harder is paying people more money. Isn't that funny? That's still what we think the solution is. Well, if they start making money, they'll be motivated. The two things they have found that motivate people to work harder. You ready? One is status, perceived status. So Juice Plus has that down, ribbons and awards and right. The number two thing is personal connection, relationship. You want your team to be committed to the team, to building them, to committed to themselves, to building this business, to sticking with it long enough to get successful. They need a relationship. They need to be connected to you, and they need to be connected to your team. Does this make sense? All right, sorry. I feel like sometimes I'm preaching. That's okay. I guess it is sort of a ministry here. So prospects, customers, distributors. There's your power hour. Boom. Go down your list. Hit your goal. My goal was 19. It was 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors. I'm sending out those messages. Sending out those messages. Okay. Then I get to my 4th list, follow-ups. There's nobody there. Follow-ups are not automatic in Teamzy. You have to create them. So let me show you how to do this really quick. I'm sending out all these messages to my prospects. Let's say, for example, half of them respond. I'm having now conversations with 4 out of 9 people I'm having conversation with today. Okay. Out of those 4, the 3 of them might fizzle out pretty quickly. It was nice. We connected, but the conversation kind of fizzled out. And then now I still have one great conversation going on with Wanda. She's got a fire in her belly. She's really fired up. She's fun to talk to. And I'm thinking she might be interested in my business. Okay. So how does this work? We're messaging, we're catching up. When you're having a conversation with somebody, your goal is not to sign them up or recruit them. Your goal is to help them. Okay, write that down. Your goal is not to sign them up or recruit them. Your goal is to help them. And you're listening, you're asking questions, you're listening for a way to help. And it's really, helping somebody is really easy. Who do you know and what do you know that can help them? Who do you know and what do you know that can help them? Okay, maybe they need a new dentist. You know a great dentist. Great. I know a great dentist. Wanda, I'll connect you to mine. Easy, right? I saw something today where their renters destroyed the stove in their rental property. A friend of mine on Facebook. And friends were helping. Oh, try baking soda and vinegar on that, or try this on that, right? You can help people easily. Find ways to help. That's the first goal, is find ways, be a helper. Make sense? Maybe they're going through something and they just need you to pray with them. That actually comes up a lot when you start working the system. You'll be surprised. But here's the thing, as I'm helping and as I'm talking to her, I am going to share with her what I'm doing because I need her to know, no matter what happens on this call, Wanda needs to know what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Okay? She needs to know what I do and why I'm passionate about it. So we're talking, we're catching up. She's catching me up. How would you do for the holidays? Oh my gosh, how was your Christmas? You know, we're talking. What about you, Eric? What have you been up to? And I will, based on something I've heard, I'll tell her my story from a different way. She's talking about, oh my gosh, the holidays were awesome, but I need to get in shape now. Boy, did I overeat, right? Great. I totally know how you feel. I don't know if you know this, Wanda, but I lost 60 pounds recently. And I feel like a new person. You did? How'd you do it? Oh, I did this program. The thing that's amazing is it's really impacted me. So now I'm passionate about helping other people lose weight. If you ever want to talk to somebody about it, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Okay. Or she may say something like, the vacation was awesome, but now I got to go back to work. Hate my boss. Great. I totally feel that. I used to have a boss like that too. I don't know if I told you, but I've been home now 3 years. I haven't had to go to a job. I have my own business. What are you doing? Oh, I help people do this. And it's so exciting. I need her to know what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Not because I want to sign her up, not because I want to recruit her. My first step thing is she needs to know what problem I solve, and then I'm on a mission to do it. Does this make sense? So as I'm having this, however you can work that into the conversation, this is what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Look, so many people are afraid to tell people they're doing network marketing. They're afraid they're going to get rejected by it. And people can reject the opportunity, but they can't reject that you're doing something positive. Does this make sense? I always tell people this example. If I haven't seen you in 10 years, and in those 10 years, I went away to veterinary school and became a vet, and you said, what are you up to? And I told you, well, it's been a long time since we talked, but I've always loved animals and I have a passion for helping them. So I became a vet and I opened a small hospital downtown on State Street. And now full time, my dream come true. I get to help animals. What would you say to me? That's awesome, Eric. Wow. This is the response you should get when you share what you do and why you're passionate about it. On my list right there, when I was on Teamzy a second ago, the next person to connect with is Ron Llewellyn. What an amazing story. Here's a guy with stage 5 cancer. Palliative care. Do you guys know what that is? He's on palliative care. Juice Plus, nutrition, his tower gardens. He put it in remission. Amazing. Amazing story. He was telling me, he goes, Eric, I'm reaching out to people, but I'm not getting results. I said, are you telling people why you're doing this? Are you telling people that? He goes, I don't want to beat the drum about my cancer. I go, it's not about your cancer, Ron. It's about their cancer. It's about helping the people they love. It's about helping more people avoid that situation. You're on a mission to save people from this. He's like, I never thought of it that way. He started telling people that story. And people were like, wow, Ron, that's amazing. People were like, you're the most inspiring person I know. This is amazing what you're doing. Do you see the difference? What do you do and why are you passionate about it? It becomes very easy to invite when you do that. And then what I do is I tell Wanda what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. She says, wow, Eric, that's really cool. And all I have to do is this. Wanda, would you like to learn more about this? Are you interested in more information? Okay. And she says, no, thanks, Eric, but I'm happy for you. Great. Perfect. No big deal. That I don't care if she says that, because here's the thing. I planted the seed, right? So here's what I'll say to her if she says, no, thank you. I say, that's fine. That's not a big deal at all, but will you do me a favor, Wanda? Will you keep me in mind? If you come across anybody who needs help in this area, would you please connect me, because I would be so honored to take care of your friends and family. Okay? If you plant that seed, and she would say, I will do that. So now you've got her signed up as one of your army on your crusade. Does this make sense? She comes back on my list in 60 days and I connect with her again. Hey, Wanda, it's been a while since we checked in. What have you been up to? How are you doing? Now we're having another great conversation. I'm looking for a way to help her again. Over time, I'm building trust with her. Does this make sense? You guys with me? And if she says, yes, I would like to learn some more information. Actually, that does sound interesting. Great. Now I'm going to invite her to something, and let me show you how to do it in Teamzy. And now I'm going to put her on my follow-ups list. Everybody else, I don't have to put them on my follow-ups list. They automatically will come back on Teamzy. They're just cycling through. But when I get some interest, I invite. So look, I'm going to look her up in Teamzy. This brings me to her record. I'm going to open that connect box and see where it says invite. I'm going to now log. Then I'm going to invite her to something. So let's say we've got. I'll take her to lunch. Okay. So, oh, you would like to learn more? Great. Well, I'm actually in your neighborhood next week. You want to grab some lunch? Great. Let's go to lunch and I'll tell you all about it. Great. So I'll set that up one-on-one. Great. We're going to do a lunch. Normally, as my example, I do like a Facebook event or something because for me, it was almost all done online, just like we're doing, but just this is an example. So let's look, I'm going to invite her to lunch. I'm going to send her that via Facebook. We're going to invite her to lunch. Great. So now what happens is when I log this, see right here where this little calendar icon is, this is where I set my follow-up. Okay. So let's say follow-up, the lunch is tomorrow. So I'm going to set my follow-up for the day after. Great. Log the connect. So now she's on my follow-ups list. And if I go to my dashboard, you can see I've got an invite logged because I've invited her to something. So I found somebody interested in something and invited her to something. And now she's on my follow-ups list. Make sense? So my power hour, I'm going to connect with prospects, connect with customers, connect with distributors, and do any follow-ups that are due. Make sense? So as I'm inviting people, I'm adding them to my follow-ups list. So now when I do a follow-up, here's how you do it in Teamzy. It's super easy. I see the follow, it says due on Thursday, but let's pretend it's due today. I'm going to go to scripts, and I'm going to get a follow-up script. By the way, my 10 follow-up scripts, 1 through 10 in numbered order, are in here for you to use. So you don't even have to be good at this. Here's the first one. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? I love that script. Oh my gosh. There's so much psychology in this one and caring. So we're going to do the same thing. I copied it in there, not Wandy. Can I call you Wandy? By the end of this call, everyone feels like they know me, so I'll just call you Wandy. All right, so there it is. It's ready to go. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? I'm going to look her up in Facebook. You have to send messages, by the way, if you didn't get this from me demonstrating this. The Facebook messages have to be sent through Facebook. You can't send them from Teamzy. Facebook doesn't allow that, but you can see how easy it is just to send it through Facebook and then log it as you go. So look, I'm going to send that message. Boom, the follow-up message is sent. You do it just like a regular message, right? And log it in Teamzy. Now, when you log it, make sure you set the next follow-up. So I'll follow up again tomorrow. Okay, so every time you send a follow-up, set a new follow-up so they stay on your follow-ups list. They need to stay on your follow-ups list. You have to keep following up. Do you guys see how easy that is to do though? Okay, real quick on this. The fortune's in the follow-up, true? Yeah, okay. So here's the thing you need to understand. 80% of all sales happen between number 7 and number 10 on the follow-ups. How many of you guys just died a little when I told you that? You have to follow up 7 to 10 times to get most people to sign up. And I know that you don't. It's okay. How many of you guys do that already? Well, the speed of the leader right there, right? But very few people own up to that because most people don't do it for 2 reasons. One, they're not organized enough to do that. They don't have Teamzy yet. Or they're just afraid of being annoying. They're worried they're annoying. How many of you guys, that's you? Okay, so here's the good news. I'm going to teach you how to do it without being annoying. I know I've been talking a long time. If you hang in with me, though, I got to give you this. I can't leave you without this. It's like giving you a pistol without putting bullets in it. Probably a bad analogy for leading with love, but you get the idea. Cupid's arrows, is that a better one? Yeah. 80% of people won't sign up unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. This is a statistic. How many of you are here because you truly believe you can help people? You want to change lives. Your life has been changed and you want to pay that forward. So I'm going to rephrase that. 80% of the people you want to help, you cannot help unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. Does that change your thought, the way it feels? This is why I say, write this down, following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. We think it's annoying, but it's an act of love. Okay? Not following up communicates, I don't care about you. Which sounds harsh, doesn't it? But think about it. I'm sure you can think of an example when somebody failed to follow up with you and that's what you thought. Guess they don't care. Okay? If you're in this to change lives, first off, let people know that. This is what I do, why I'm passionate about it. I'm here to change lives. Are you interested in learning more? Yes, you're interested in learning more. Good. Now you know what I'm doing. Now I'm going to prove it because I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to love you through this process. Make sense? By the way, I always tell people I'm going to follow up. And then when you follow up, you're keeping your promise. That's why that first follow-up was following up like I said I would. Psychology, right? Great. So what I'll do is we're going to have lunch on Tuesday. I'll follow up at lunch. Go, great. I hope this was helpful to you. I'll connect with you tomorrow and see if any questions have come up. Okay. I'm telling you what I'm going to do, and then I do it. I'm following through. So follow up 7 to 10 times. You keep them on Teamzy, you keep going through, and you just keep going down those scripts. Now, let me give you the way to do it without being annoying, so you're not annoying. You ready? By the way, there's 2 rules, and my scripts follow these rules. So if you use my scripts, you're safe. The first rule is this: never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. Never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. For example, don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to respond in any way to your message. Don't ask them to RSVP for your event. Don't ask them to do anything. They shouldn't have to do anything but see your message. Okay? How annoying is it, first off, to get a voicemail? So don't ever leave a voicemail for a follow-up, just so you guys know. Don't call people. Nobody likes to be called unexpectedly. Is this true? How many of you guys love seeing an unknown number come up on your phone? Nobody does. Anyone that's teaching you to hit the phones is 10 years behind society. Send them a message. Don't ask them to do anything. The next piece is your follow-ups need to be sent where they can read it. I know you guys love Voxer and WhatsApp and all that stuff, right? It has to be read. It has to be readable, because having to listen to a voice message on a busy day can be annoying. Isn't it true? But look, and it needs to be short, a short message, because they're going to see it on the lock screen of their phone, just like that. They're going to see it on the lock screen, and they're not going to want to open it. They need to be able to read the whole message without opening it. This is really important because everyone's busy, right? And so they're not going to have time to respond to you right now. You guys do this, right? You get messages and you're like, I want to know what the message says, but I don't have time to respond. So there's no way I'm going to open it. As soon as I open it, they know that I've seen it, and now I feel obligated to respond. True? So you want to keep it short enough so they can see your whole message, because if it dots, now they're annoyed because now I have to open it to read the rest. You don't want to be annoying. So don't ask them to do anything. Send them in a message. I like Facebook Messenger because people get it the most, but text would be my second favorite. Short and sweet, okay? So they can see it. Here's what I want you guys to understand. 80% of people won't sign up until the 7th or 10th follow-up. There's another stat, and I don't know, I don't have the science to prove this stat, just my personal experience, and now having coached like this over 100,000 people in the last 3 years. Seems to hold true. The vast majority of people will not respond to anything for the first 5 follow-ups, at least. Have you guys experienced that? You're talking to people that are interested, and then it's just crickets, right? And then what happens is you fill the cricket noise in with your own explanations. Oh, she's not responding because she doesn't respect my time. Oh, I heard that they're having marital issues. That's probably it. Oh, her husband's such a jerk. He's probably overbearing, right? Oh, I know what it is. It's Christmas time. They don't have any money. That stuff you're making up. Okay, here's what really happened. Wanda's excited. I send her that first message. She sees it on her phone. Because of the way I did it, she sees the whole message instantly. She doesn't even have to scroll. Like, her brain just absorbs those 2 sentences. And she's, for a split second, she is reconnected to the excitement and the hope that she felt when she was talking to me at lunch. Then what happens? Oh my gosh, is the baby actually throwing up on the dog right now? I gotta go. She drops her phone and she goes and handles that situation. Every day is the same. That message comes through. She sees it. She's reconnected to the hope with me, and something comes up that distracts her. This is life. I don't want you guys to be dismayed. Most people won't respond. Just keep messaging. Just keep loving them through the process. And what will happen around maybe the 6th follow-up, for me, is usually the 6th. I would get a response that said, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to you. Thank you for staying in touch. I really appreciate it. My life has been literally insane for the past 2 months. Okay? This will happen for you. Just stick with it. Do your power hour, which is really going to be like a half an hour. Every day you turn on Teamzy, it tells you who to connect with, send them a message, start a conversation with them, right? When people are interested in learning more, invite them to something. Always have things you can invite them to, an event, hosting an online event, something your team is doing, right? and then follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. A couple months down the road, as I've been following up with her, Wanda finally signs on. How do I finish her off in Teamzy? Again, I'll look her up in the lookup bar to find her record because she's not on my dashboard right now. And then I'll take her, first I'll log that she purchased. I'll click sale, right? Application fee is just a way for us to know that she signed up. And then I'll tag what she got. So let's say she did Tower Garden. I like to add a tag for every product they're using so that I know, and then they're in those tag groups in Teamzy, which is kind of cool. And then the member type, she's a prospect. I'm just going to click distributor, personally sponsored. Now she's on my team in Teamzy. Okay, I've moved her all the way through the process. Next time I connect with her, she'll be on my distributors list, not my prospects list. Okay, if she didn't come on as a distributor, she just bought some stuff, then I'd move her over to customer. Make sense? Okay. I know I've been talking to you guys for a long time, but that's the gist. You get in there, connect with people, love on them, help them. The people that are interested now, you work with them. The people who aren't, you continue to help them and build that relationship with them. They'll become your advocates. As you become the expert on health and vitality and nutrition in your sphere, people will come to you for that. Does it make sense? People will say, oh my gosh, you need to talk to my friend Teresa. You have to. This is what she does. This is the best time, by the way, too, because everybody's looking around right now being like, I need to do something, right? Okay, real quick, any questions that you guys have? If you have a question, just unmute, ask away. I'll take a few questions, and then I'll send you guys on your way.
Yep, I have a few questions. Eric, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, because that's pretty much the theme on my team. It's like loving on each other, loving on people, serving others, problem solvers. So you've given us a system to make it easy. So I have a few questions.
Yes.
I have over 1,000 reps in Puerto Rico. Some of them are on, and they're asking if this can be translated to Spanish. Have you done that already? All of your scripts?
The site is not translated to Spanish. But what you guys could do is you can put your own scripts in. So if one of you guys wants to take those scripts and translate them and share them with your team, they can save them as their scripts in Teamzy and have them and be able to grab them just as quickly.
So it'll be available to everyone?
No. Each person would have to put it in their own Teamzy account.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then Ceci, I don't understand your question. Is this just for profile pages? Can it work with pages and groups as well? I don't understand that. Do you understand that question?
My guess is she means, can you message people from your, basically, okay, so Teamzy doesn't, Facebook is its own thing, okay? It's not integrated with Teamzy. Teamzy is going to tell you who to connect with. So if there are people in your groups that you want to connect with, you can connect with them. You know, the point is you're just connecting with those people. People you met on your profile page, you're connecting with them. Does that make sense? Teamzy is going to say, this person's up next. You choose how you want to connect, and then you log it in Teamzy. Does that make sense? So
I have a question, Eric. We have to import our contact list in Teamzy, whether are of topics or fan page or groups. I have to import, right?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. You have to import them into Teamzy. So your Facebook friends list is pretty easy to import. There's instructions on the Help Center on how to do it. There's no way to export a list of members from a group. So you would have to kind of manually put those people in if you're not Facebook friends with them. If you're Facebook friends with them, then they'll come over easy. That makes sense.
So did you go over how to import, or is that self-explanatory when we go
I didn't go over it. I just showed where the instructions are. They're in the Help Center.
They're in the Help Center. Okay, so one of my national directors from Puerto Rico just wrote, if he sends us the script, we can translate and he can add it to Teamzy. And then it'll be available for everyone throughout the world. How do you feel about that?
Is it something is it possible? Yes, but I don't think we're ready right now to do that because we would have to do it in lots of languages right now. So But here's the thing. Good news is, like, the scripts are new. We've only had those for a year, the first 2 years of Teamzy. We didn't have any scripts. So we're constantly adding stuff like that to help. But they're there for you guys. You guys could definitely take advantage of it. You know, who knows? Maybe as we blow up with your team in Puerto Rico, it'll make sense for us to do.
Right.
Do all in
But
Spanish. Does that make sense?
Teamzy, but here's it's kind of a catch-22. They can't get Teamzy if they don't understand it.
Wanda, I will offer myself to help to translate and share it with our team. So count on me. I can help it.
Well, that's great. But for people to work with Teamzy, the whole thing, all the videos would have to be in Spanish. There's a lot that goes on. But yeah, you can do the scripts. Send the scripts and put it on our WhatsApp in Spanish and in English.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
so
good.
Wanda, we had a team in Canada in Quebec, French-speaking team.
French.
And it was the same situation. That the leader just basically went through all my trainings and re-recorded them in French.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah.
And you know, like the training I did tonight, she redid it in French, and she created a few training videos, and she had a few people on her team create some training videos that they put on their team page, and it worked fine. You know, the thing is that in Teamzy, really what it's doing for you is it's creating that daily list of who to connect with, right? And so that's going to come up. You're going to see that. You're going to connect with them. You know, that's the most important piece, because people will look at their list, or they'll say, I need to do something. And they have an hour, and they spend more than half that time trying to figure out who they should message.
Right. Yeah.
This way you get them in and get them going. And that's even true of national marketing directors, people who are making six figures in this business. They are naturally good at relationships. And so they make enough stuff happen, but it's just messy and sloppy. There are a lot of people falling through the cracks. This is a system that enables you to be really efficient with a little bit of time you have. And then as you become, it helps you be consistent, which is what people respect more than anything. So
yeah, that's good.
Hope that helps.
Well, I really enjoyed this. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Do you have any questions before he goes? Because it's pretty late for us. Like, I know my eyes are getting sleepy. We get up at 5. Any questions, team? I think that we should all go on Teamzy. It's for Juice Plus Reps. It's $19.99. Is that correct?
Yes, $19.99 a month. By the way, just a little side note, my family's from Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah.
You're Puerto Rican?
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yes.
See that? What?
My mom's
okay, you definitely have to put this in Spanish. What? No excuses.
My mom's a New York Rican.
I am too.
But my grandparents were both born in Puerto Rico.
Huépale. Do you hear that? I have 2 of my national marketing directors on. No, 3. All 3 of my national marketing directors from Puerto Rico are on. Look at them smiling. Mi ver, ¿viste eso? So you speak Spanish?
I do, but my Spanish is kind of rusty.
Yeah, mine is a little rusty too. So it's okay. I'm a Brooklyn girl. My parents are from Puerto Rico. So that's good news. That's very good news. I really thank you. I loved it. I took a lot of notes, and then you're going to send us a recording so we can rehear it, re-listen to it.
I will send it.
Sorry, Alice said, I loved it. I know Delcia just said, thank you. This was amazing. I already set up my account. So that was from Delcia Morales. Lolita, awesome. One of my NMDs from Puerto Rico. Excellent. Thank you. So I think that everyone has enjoyed it. We really appreciate your time. And if we want you back in 6 months, is that possible?
Yeah,
I mean, you have some new material probably in 6 months.
Yeah, hit me up and we'll do it. And I know that I'm also working with Janet and Meredith at Juice Plus to do a national training coming up soon for everyone in Juice Plus. So that'll be really cool too. So I'm excited to do that with you guys. But
this is so cool, but I'm going to ask you for something. You got to give the Puerto Ricans a shout out when you're on national.
Okay, I will.
Stage. Puerto Rico team, shout out, okay? Who
Absolutely.
knows? Like, did you guys even know that he's Puerto Rican with Johnson? Hello.
I know. My mom's Torres though, so that's like Johnson in Puerto Rico, right?
Well, nobody knows about me. I mean, unless they look at me. I totally look Latina. I'm a Chadwick. I married a non-Latino. So,
well, thank you guys for having me. God bless you. Have an awesome night. We'll talk to you soon. I'll send you over that recording probably in the morning when it's all rendered.
Yeah. God bless you too. Thank you. Okay, have
Bye,
a good night,
everyone.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Gracias.